It was 2010, and Ryan Perez was still trying to figure out what to major in. Perez had just started at community college in El Centro. He tried art, hoping to launch a career in film. But when that didn't go as planned, he started looking for other options. That's when he started hearing about solar.
It was exciting. It was still exciting in a way because, like, oh, wait, solar's coming in the Imperial Valley. It's probably going to be something new. There's really planets popping up everywhere.
The industry was expanding across the Imperial Valley, promising to bring in good, well-paying jobs. There were flyers around school, ads in the local newspaper. So Perez signed up. He took classes in electrical wiring and circuit boards. He did an apprenticeship at a small company called Sun Peak Solar. He saw a bright future in renewable energy. But as graduation approached, Perez wasn't hearing back from any of his applications. Those jobs, he said, weren't there.
Horrible results. Like, I didn't get any callbacks or anything.
Perez's experience was part of a pattern in the Imperial Valley. The region has an abundance of sunlight, wind, and underground heat. Renewable energy industries have come, chasing those resources and promising to bring new jobs and growth. Those promises have mattered a lot in the valley, a place where it's hard for many people to find work. Imperial County is the second poorest county in California. Benny Andres is a professor of history who grew up in the valley and has studied the region. He says that's because most of the land and wealth is held by a small group of people.
It's a system where poverty is endemic because the profits, the wealth are not, are so skewedly distributed.
Renewables held the hope of changing things. Geothermal was one of the first industries to come in the 1980s. Federal officials had plans to develop enough geothermal capacity to create thousands of jobs. But those predictions didn't pan out. By the mid-90s, development of new geothermal energy slowed. Today, the newest plant is already more than 15 years old, and geothermal in the valley produces just around 500 megawatts of energy, less than a tenth of what they had originally hoped. Around the same time, though, another industry was starting to touch down. Solar. Paul Rodriguez is Deputy Energy Manager of IID, the county's main power utility.
Now, California has been the trailblazer in terms of solar installs. Right, we had the strictest mandates back then and continue to have one of the strictest mandates in the country.
This time, the technology did take off. In just 5 years, the county went from having almost no solar to signing off on over 30 new projects. Once again, many residents were hopeful that this new industry would bring in thousands of jobs. Imperial Valley College launched courses in solar technology. The local electrical workers union built a new training center. But it turned out that many of those jobs were short-lived. The technology also came under fire for taking over agricultural land.
The landowners, they wanted a piece of the pie.
Andres, the historian, again.
So you had very unfortunate, very good fields, vegetable fields that had been in operation for almost 100 years that were just very productive and a lot of wages, and they were now covered, as we speak, in solar farms.
Many residents argued solar was depriving agricultural workers of their jobs and taking more work away than it was creating.
Promises were made, yes, but they were not true. They didn't come to fruition.
Now, a decade later, another renewable energy industry is making headlines in the region: lithium extraction. This time, the promises are even bigger. Some local and state officials are already rebranding the region Lithium Valley. But many residents remember those past promises that never materialized and wonder whether things will really be different this time. Still, there is also plenty of hope. Despite his past experiences with the solar industry, Ryan Perez is excited about the possibilities.
So it just feels like something like new, and that'll make a huge change. Unlike solar, right? Solar was something new, but it didn't feel like it was making a huge impact on like socially and everything else like lithium's probably going to make.
Tomorrow, we'll look at what local communities and state lawmakers are doing to try and make sure that lithium brings real benefits to residents of the valley. Kori Suzuki, KPBS News.